So imagine the world's urban centers immersing themselves with wildlife, where the cities become the savannas, and people have an absolute blast getting actively involved with wildlife conservation. That's what we're going to launch next summer, and we're calling it the Cities for Conservation. My name's Gautam Shah, and I run a company called Internet of Elephants, and we're a technology startup with a single mission. And that's to make wildlife a global phenomenon, where people want to think about and pay attention to wildlife on a daily basis, where a conversation about Amelie the elephant or Luco the bear is just as likely as a conversation about Donald Trump or Game of Thrones. So our first concept combines the elements of Pokemon Go with the Ice Bucket Challenge. It involves and revolves around a highly social game, which will launch in 4 cities in 2018 and roll out globally afterwards. The game creates an imaginary scenario where real wildlife is roaming around your city. We partner with organizations that are currently tracking these animals, and we can overlay their movements on any city in the world. Now, we think the real animals is very, very key here because they have a name, they have a story, and with good storytelling, that can create a situation where the animals become celebritized and you create a greater connection, an emotional connection with the player. The user experience involves essentially exploring your city looking for these animals. Now, like I mentioned, the animals move around on their own terms, based on the way they're actually moving in the wild in their home territory. Now, you can dive a little bit deeper, and you can learn a little bit more, for example, about Amelie the elephant, or elephants in general, or the organizations that are supporting them. And when you find her, you're rewarded with an augmented reality version of that elephant in your camera, in the context of where you actually are, and the opportunity to take her photograph. Now, this is way better demonstrated in person, and I'm happy to do that later. Taking her photograph essentially completes the mission. And at this point, you're given visibility into how you're doing in relation to the entire community that's playing the game. And this is the part that really becomes the social element of all of this. This is the opportunity to share your accomplishments with the world. This can happen in many ways, but at its most simplest, it's just taking a silly photograph or video with all the animals that you've found. Players can contribute in multiple ways, but always in exchange for something of value, although we do facilitate the ability to voluntarily donate or participate in offline events. Now, we think the financial benefit of this could reach into the tens of millions of dollars, but to make it meaningful for the player, it becomes really, really important that they get visibility into the individual projects as chosen by our partners that are being supported. Our aim is to create millions and millions of people that are wildlife addicts. But we think we can also create a big opportunity for our partners to get visibility to who are those millions of people and generate really meaningful finance for the projects that they're working on. We've got great investors, great conservation partners, and great commercial partners to get us started. But we're going to need more of each of them to help us cross the line. So I'd be happy to talk with anybody here about how the work that you're doing might align with Internet of Elephants or the Cities for Conservation. Thank you.